Hi, Heritage Hills. Today was the May Metro District Board meeting, and there's a lot to cover. So let's start with the brick walls. At today's meeting, a board member stated that the Brick Wall Committee recommended moving forward with contacting homeowners to begin obtaining easement agreements. And we want to be transparent with you. We attended the Brick Wall Committee meeting, and we didn't hear that recommendation come from the committee. And in fact, the committee is still in the early stages of gathering information. They don't know yet whether they will recommend repair or replacement or what any of it will cost. So it's likely too soon to be asking homeowners to sign easement agreements. Also, we've shared that there's been a lot of discussion over who owns the walls, and the board has discussed doing a land survey to determine that over the last few months, but that was not brought up at all today. On the Overlook Pavilion, this project has been approved and construction is set to begin on August 17th. Because of the slight delay in starting construction, the final pricing is 2% higher than the original, which comes in around $293,000. If you want the full story on what's being built and what it will cost, we posted a dedicated video on that recently, and we'll link it below. And the Willow Creek Trail Project, adding new fencing and a gate along the trail, has also been approved, with construction expected to begin this summer once school is out. The board is still obtaining quotes for lighting and electrical work and reaching out to companies for decorative brick columns, but the gate and fencing are moving forward.
Something came up at today's meeting that we want to make sure you are aware of. Colorado has a law called TABOR, the Taxpayers' Bill of Rights, that limits how much tax revenue local governments like the Heritage Hills Metro District can collect, keep, and increase. And there's a process called DeBrucing where voters can approve exceptions to those limits. Questions are being raised about how the brick wall repairs or replacement will be funded, and some residents are curious if it will be through an increase in our property taxes, which is what funds the Metro District. So a resident raised a question today about whether our Metro District has ever properly gone through the debrucing process. And the district manager, who lives here in Heritage Hills, stated that she has an email from the state confirming that we are debruced, and the district's attorney confirmed that as well. However, because we have not been able to find any ballot initiatives or public records, this is a question worth understanding more fully. The board agreed to address it at next month's meeting, where the attorney will explain exactly what debrucing is, what language confirms it, and how it impacts our community. We encourage you to attend virtually or in person at the clubhouse and let your voice be heard. On another topic, last month, the board approved the removal of 31 diseased trees throughout the neighborhood. That has not happened yet, and it did not come up in today's meeting, so we asked for a map and a clear timeline of when this will happen, and we did not get clear answers. However, we understand the trees will be tagged before they come down, so if you start seeing tags on trees around the neighborhood, that is likely what is happening. And one more thing, you may have noticed utility flags or workers in the neighborhood recently, and possibly even in your backyard. And I confess I didn't know this, but utilities have an easement that allows them to access and flag properties without advance notice. So in this case, it's Comcast who's currently adding new lines because we are at 97% capacity. But as always, if you see someone that maybe doesn't have credentials or you aren't sure, ask for their credentials.
Hi neighbors, a couple more updates from today's meeting. If you've been wondering about flowers at our entrances and common areas this year, so have we. The board has been discussing this for several months, weighing water restrictions and various alternatives. But with spring in full swing, the topic did not come up at all today, and we genuinely do not know whether we will have flowers this year. On landscaping, more broadly, the board is evaluating a proposal to convert mulch areas to rock, and this would be throughout the neighborhood. Several options were presented, but no final decision has been made. Remember, the Metro District Board meetings the second Friday of every month at 8:15 a.m., right here in our clubhouse or via Zoom. Public comments are welcome at both the beginning and end of every meeting. And at the time the next one rolls around, the pools will be open and the Friday food trucks will be out too. Hope to see you there. Thanks, friends.